Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of TFT Study Hall with your TFT Academy hosts. My name is Frodan.
And I'm Dishsoap.
And it's 15.7B. It's the beginning of the end. This is the night before regionals. By the time you guys watch this, regionals will be partially done. That's pretty intentional, given that there's going to be some stuff that we talk about that probably come to surface during what is many people consider this the most important weekend of the season, because it leads to the World Championship, and for many people, this is what it's all been building towards. So we have two-time world champion Dishsoap, who also qualified for yet another regional finals, and it's been kind of deep in the tank. And not only that, we also had a B patch. So as we were getting ready for this tournament, for this patch, we were talking about, should we do study hall? Kind of wait till after the weekend, and then they announced that they're going to be doing a B patch. So now that we've had some time with 15.7 and the B patch, so how has scrims been? How's been the patch so far?
I mean, it's like for sure the best patch of the set, I guess.
I think
like
so,
yeah. I don't really know if it's a good patch, but it's definitely the best patch of the set.
Trending upwards.
For sure. Pre-V patch was like absolutely disgusting.
The 7 mech, man, we had to talk about it. That I think that's like one of the most tech heavy, like obnoxious comps that we've ever had be S tier, because there were so many like intricacies of how you would fish for the mech pilot and all these different small things about it. So I'm glad that it's kind of dead, even though I think a lot of people were sad because they invested a lot of time to learning it.
Yeah, I guess I was underrating the comp for a while, because like I kind of always like had the impression that it was like a Yone check, and that's just kind of weird to place your game plan around. But once I realized, like, if you have 6 feeds on the pilot, or like if you have 6 feeds for mech pilot, like even with 6 mech, like it's actually for sure stable enough. And like once like that was clear, it just kind of took over. Like meching the Aatrox instead of the Lucian Senna.
We optimized it further.
Yeah. So like the 5-10% optimizations just add up, and then it just kind of like combined with other comps getting nerfed just made it kind of overpowered.
So we talked about the 15.7 patch, which, brought a lot of small buffs to a lot of the mid traits like Sorcerer, Soul Fighter. You saw Sniper being buffed, maybe more on that in a little bit, and some buffs to 4 cost, but it was really about mech. And then the B patch kind of hit. And then, I mean, I feel like it's safe to say mech is dead. It feels like, at least in terms of the way we know it with the mech pilot, 60 to 25%, 70 to 35%. And then they took Nico out back and made it really slow comparatively. And these changes, alongside the shop no longer briefly appear augments for the armories, have kind of opened up a lot more of the metagame. And so with the mech passing, what do you feel like you've seen mostly in the metagame? People talk about Fast 9 and then reroll. What else is there right now in the meta, you think?
Outside of what you just mentioned, like what's really, really popular right now is Crystal Ash. Debatable which tier it should be in, because the win rate is disgusting, but it's a pretty hard comp to play, and I'm pretty sure the 8th rate's also pretty high. If you don't know what you're doing. Also, if you just miss, you're dead. Like a few optimizations, like there's this like Fury Break tech. We have it featured on the site. It's not like these old fruit techs where it's just like insta win broken, like makes a new comp kind of thing. It's not like Stretch Your Arms GP or whatever, but it's something solid. Like it lets you save 8 gold in a roll down, because instead of buying 9 gold worth of Udyrs, you buy like 1 Kale. And it just gives you the damage, which can help you like do well on stage 4. I don't think you're supposed to end on this board, or like I don't think you're supposed to end on Fury Break Kale. You're probably supposed to what I do is go Mana Rush Zyra late game, or like I guess you can go like Tank Zilla Kazante as well. It's fine.
Okay.
Like eventually you get to the point where you don't need it, but it's just kind of nice like on like 4-1 exactly. But yeah, like if you
on Ash, right? Like the Frodan Ash.
Yeah, you need a Frodan Ash. Like the Fury Break doesn't work if you don't have, like, it gives the attack speed to the other fruit unit.
I was saying when you move it to Zyra, you're still going on Ash, because the thing about Fury Break is it feels like it was really important for like the Kraken build to get the DPS going.
Yeah, Fury Break is to scale up the Kraken. I don't think you should do it if you don't have more than 1 Kraken. I mean, you can get off Ash Fruit Giga late game. Like, if you have, like, Lee Sin 2, Rob 2 itemized, you can do, like, Lee Sin, Mana Rush Zyra or something.
Okay. So it's funny, because you were updating this for the site, I think, a day or 2 ago, and then I decided to, like, basically try to play it a lot. I played a lot on stream, and I was coming to the same conclusion. I'm like, am I supposed to like stay on this? Am I, I feel like I don't know exactly what to play if I get a ton of resources, right? And so I ended up playing like I ended up staying on Fury Break with the Kraken. It still felt like pretty reasonably strong as well. So I think there's a lot of exploration to be done with this comp. And it's really popular in scrims, you were telling me. It's really popular in China regionals. They're jamming it all the time. I think in the hands of a skilled player, this is a composition that is going to really do a lot of work this patch, I think.
Yeah, like Ashe is not like OP. The unit is barely strong enough, but that's kind of all you need. Like if you can just get a few 5 crystal cash outs and then just be like slightly up resources on the lobby, it just like snowballs, and then like eventually you just have enough resources where you can't lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is they even like kind of prepared for this. They like nerfed 5 crystal a few times, like on the PvE,
Yeah.
like to like hit like the reroll versions, and then I guess it's not enough. Maybe they need to nerf it more.
It's so funny because I don't know if you've been keeping track. They literally have changed Crystal Gambit every patch this set. Literally every patch. It's either been like nerfing either some kind of like 7 crystal, 5 crystal, then they buffed 3 crystal, then they nerfed like stage 4 crystal, and there's all different stuff. And so overall they did yet another pass of 5 crystal nerf. Actually, speaking of which, by the way, it seemed like you didn't put any stock in like the reroll crystal variations. Those are like still staying in the bottom. Is that version of crystal actually weak, or is it because so many people are playing crystals, like hard to get to? Like why is such a big power gap difference? Is it just the raw difference between Ashe versus like Malzahar and Ari?
I mean, if you have this exact board with 3 stars, that's pretty good, I guess. But I'm telling you right now, in these scrims, there's like at least 2 Crystal Ashe players per lobby, which means like if you include like one person probably playing around Bastions, that's like 9. That's like 9 Swains gone.
Yeah,
so you're not having Swain.
3. Okay.
Like Mal's Bruiser is pretty common as well, or Mal's I think it's called Heavyweight is pretty common as well. So just like a weird, you just have to be in a really weird spot to angle it. At least in the metas I've been seeing. So I just don't think it's I don't know. Like maybe you can say it's B tier because the board's actually good, but like I don't think you're ever actually really in a spot to play it because there's just too many units gone.
It makes sense, right? It's there's a lot of comps that are like that where they theoretically could be good, but you're never going to be able to get to, like you said, the Bastion boards, because Fast 9 Bastions is very, very common. And if it's not Fast 9 Bastions with TF and Seraphine, you're going for like Juggernauts and trying to play around Lee Sin, because those are 2 of the strongest 5 costs to play around right now. I think a lot of people actually are curious in terms of how you kind of determine whether or not you can go level 9 versus staying level 8. This is sort of like jumping to the very end of this podcast where we usually do like a topic, but since we're kind of like here and we're kind of just mishmashing, we're just going straight into it. When you're like, in a spot where you could roll on 8, or like, let's say you're playing a Bastion, like what's the difference between going like Bastions and trying to play something like Yuumi versus like, that you can go to 9 because you're going to have enough gold to make it? Like, how do you make those reads there? So
Typically you're only angling these like Fast 9 Giga high cap boards if you have HP to work with, or just a disgusting amount of gold where it doesn't matter. But typically what you're going to do is you're going to win streak stage 2 and stage 3 and then leverage that gold for like a stage 4 like double down crystal setup. And then hopefully you're not cashing out with 1 life. Hopefully it's like 2 to 3 lives. And then use that like cash out, the gold from the cash out to like fund your level 9. Obviously there's like augments and like portals that enable you to like do it without crystal, or if you're just like really ahead for whatever reason. But that's typically what you're going to be doing to get into this, like I want to say like 70% of the time.
Yeah.
If you don't have the HP to leverage, like you need to like if you're losing in stage 3, you have to be like pretty cognizant that like, oh, you can't play Fast 9 because you just don't have the HP to sacrifice. So
right.
You have to be planning to like actually plan level 8 and maybe like adjust your itemization accordingly. Maybe don't make like the Seraphine items, maybe like use those components, like maybe like play some Jinx, maybe like Sabers and like Volley, like Bastions. Like if you have like the full Bastion setup, but like not the other stuff, you just make like Volley items, and then maybe you can like hit up Volley too early and then go like 9 on like mid stage 5 off of that. But yeah, you just have to kind of like react to like your spot as the game progresses. You can't really like go into a game 2-1 and be like, oh shit, I'm fucking Fast 9, it's lit.
Yeah.
Like if 4-1 you're 50 HP, it's not possible. So
yeah, one concept I want to hone in here is that if you're not fast 9, that doesn't mean you can't play for level 9. It's just that you can't rush there and be the first person to roll for those 5 costs, which is pretty important. But there are scenarios where you can play, like, we're talking about things like the Volibear board, right? If you just play around a good Volibear, and this is only one variation of Volibear, there's actually multiple variations you can play. People are now kind of splashing in Volibear in Jinx, right? We've seen people like play more they call it Sniper Flex, which is kind of like the variations we were playing in the past where they buff their snipers and you can play like a variation of Frontline. You don't have to play Vertical Star Guardians. You can just kind of splash in whatever high quality units end on Braum. So you do have like the ability to play on these 4 costs. People just kind of obsess over like, oh, if I have the gold to roll on 8, or if I have the gold to roll on 9, surely I can chase these 5 costs. But in the end, if you just don't have the HP, you're just gonna be dead on like the 1-star version of the board, and the 1-star version of the legendaries is pretty bad. I think people like really mess up on that. Question about the differences here. Do you prefer Bastion or Juggernaut? Let's say you're like theoretically in the spot where you could play either, right? Like you're holding a lot of the cheaper units and you're kind of in between. Is there like something that you lean towards when you have like such an open-ended situation?
In my opinion, like at cap, they're like pretty equal strength. I'll say they have like good matchups and bad matchups, mostly just depending on how good Seraphine is. But like the thing is about Juggernaut is you're only stable on level 9 with Li 2. And if you don't have Li 2, you're not stable, which is the problem. Like on Bastion, you can be missing, like, you can be stable on like TF1, Seraphine 1, or Braum 1, like if you have like the others upgraded. But like in Juggernaut, if you have Zyra 2, Braum 2, who cares? You don't have like TF2, who cares? You don't have Li 2. Because he's like a melee carry, like the HP, the scaling he's like the biggest upgrade, and you're like giving him 6 Juggernaut. So if he's not 2-star, you're going to be very sad, and that's why I think Juggernaut's like a lot more volatile. Given the fact that like people, I mean, honestly, like I might want to like move this down, because the thing is like every single Ashe player is like holding all the Lee Sins they hit on like their Giga 4-1 roll down. So
everyone's playing Lee Sin, man. People just splash in Lee Sin on a lot of comps now.
Like the comp is literally like a Lee Sin 2 required.
Okay, we should probably change the portrait. Then it just ends up being
sure.
Lee Sin for the portrait. I noticed that in a lot of the builds, and this is because of the builder limitation, almost every database doesn't have Lee Sin as like the Juggernaut. You have to put the Juggernaut emblem just to signify that you're playing him. What's like the third item for Lee Sin that you really want if you're building like these crit items on him?
I think the crit items are fine. I actually kind of prefer. I mean, okay, honestly, I don't know. I don't really. Usually, I'm not like in the spot to choose, but
yeah, it's like whatever edge you have.
Yeah, the thing is, I low key fuck with the like on the edge like triple like BT Sterex like BT Sterex Hodge like triple defensive, and you go on the edge for like your
max damage. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think that's pretty good. Like the thing is, like I feel like you just put any sort of AD melee like whatever like healing. I I really don't think you get to be picky with your best on Fast 9 because it's usually just going to be what you made in like stage 3 and 4 to save HP. So,
any thoughts on the Gather Force blue buff Lee Sin that I've seen people also play? I've been recommended it. I tried it, and I'm like, I feel like it's okay. I guess I mean it's Lee Sin 2, so I can't tell if it's because of
I don't know. Like I'm pretty sure it's fine. In general, I think if I don't have like a lot of defensive items. Probably should put there. Okay, we should probably put these fruits here, but I prefer like unflinching.
Yeah, unflinching is good too.
As like my defensive one. But yeah, on the edge, Gather Force are pretty good offensive. I haven't like tried the blue buff because like I feel like if I have like a blue buff, there's like a lot of good blue buff holders. Like you maybe want to put it on Braum or like Zyra or something.
Yeah, fair enough.
It seems like kind of hard to allocate the items. I know in particular Mana Zane Gather Force is kind of nasty. I've had that set up in Crystal, not in, because you can actually farm some Mana Zanes, but not in this version.
Dude, it's funny because whenever you play Crystal, it feels like you get like 1 or 4 Mana Zanes. It's like one or the other. Okay, let's talk about some of the other reroll comps that are in the meta right now. Katarina still really good. Last time we talked about it, the positioning for Katarina, something like this. People are still doing that. Have we settled on whether or not this is good or bad for the comp?
I think this is like broken if people are not paying attention.
Okay.
I do not think this is uncounterable. It is very counterable, actually.
Okay. That's that. I mean, we saw that happen in tournaments as well. People get themselves in trouble with positioning like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think late game at least I definitely prefer I don't know, like a Tankzilla or a Rocket Grab, and then like do some more standard positioning. Uh,
Mm,
but like this is very good at catching people off guard.
yeah.
Sometimes people have like some insane fast 9 crystal setups, and like if they're not paying attention, this might be the only way you could win, like the unstoppable cheese. Whereas like even if like technically they're not supposed to get got by you, just like doing this like I don't know, like there's some spots that comes up, like if you're playing default and like it's they get punished, but usually people don't get punished.
I feel like this Katarina might be one of the hardest like positioning intensive comps, or at least it puts a premium on understanding what you can do with positioning to manipulate your opponent. Assuming you are in the position to capitalize on it. I feel like there's a lot of small little nuances with that, not just unstoppable, but even like the rocket grab that you described. I think a lot of people are not really thinking about how Rakan actually utilizes that. If you do it in playing it, and that actually applies not only to that, but also to heavyweight Malzahar. People are playing a lot of. Oh wait, actually, we have the fruit on Poppy, but I've been seeing people play rocket grab on Darius a lot as well.
One second, I'm just gonna be changing some things.
Yeah, we need to make a couple updates. Our bad. I mean, part of it is there's actually a lot of relic left over from some of these other patch stuff. So we'll make some updates. Never mind that. Whoops, sorry.
Yeah, I think I think what I did is I updated the Darius fruits, and then I didn't realize we didn't have the Darius fruit highlighted on the comp.
Yeah,
Like I was pretty sure I was, oh yeah, I updated the Darius fruit, and then it's like, oh, I didn't actually assign
I'll assign it. It's all good.
Yeah.
There's like this whole back end. I mean, I show it on stream sometimes, but there's a lot of, when you look at the back end, it actually gets kind of overwhelming with all different stuff. Okay, while
Yeah.
you do that, let's talk about
I
some of
just
the
fixed
other
it.
comps that are starting to make some room. How about let's talk about Jinx a little bit. We mentioned it briefly. Jinx is starting to come back a little bit in some variations, not just Star Guardians, but people playing other like they call it Sniper Flex. Thoughts on
Yeah.
Jinx right now?
Who was calling this Sniper Flex? I feel like it's the exact same board.
Well, it's labeled as such in China regionals. When Clement was doing stats, I started watching some CN games. Other people are talking about it. They just call it Sniper Flex because you play Poppy and then you just kind of it's the same old like Star Guardian, but you don't have to play as many Star Guardians. You can just like mix and match like heavyweight protector and bastion of some sort. But that's why they call it Sniper Flex.
Okay, I think that's a little misleading. I think like the two boards you can play with Jinx is like you can play Cassante Deco, and you can play like Volley plus like a Luchador. I think Cassante's like a lot better just because it's Cassante. But the thing is, lots of Crystal players, they all roll for Cassante usually before you roll because they're usually like taking
Very
the econ.
rich. Yeah.
So you might hit Cassante too, but I feel like Cassante 1, Nico 2, the Protector Shield bonus you give to your team is way too valuable. I think you just play the same board like as you do. I've had some success taking like 2-1 Sniper Prismatic because it gives you a IE. I like IE and a Caitlyn. I specifically take it when I have like a Shojin and a frontline. I've done this like a couple times, and you just play Jinx, and then like on 4-2 you roll down for like Volley and Jinx, and you like sniper the Volley, but like you don't actually want to end on Volley. You just play the Volley for like stage 4 and then like half a stage 5, and then you sell the Volley, and then you sniper the Seraphine, and it's pretty good. But
okay, I like that.
uh
And you end 3 sniper or 2?
oh no, you keep the Varus for sure.
Okay,
It's like good enough.
because it's
But
the
like
Wraith.
that's like a pretty niche line. I literally only play with the Sniper Prismatic 2-1. But yeah, I don't know. The comp's fine. Specifically, why it's doing a little bit better is I don't think the itemization is as rigid as it is in the past. You don't need any of the shield items anymore because best defense is like nerfed. So you just usually take it's like tanks or body change on Poppy. And then Jinx, you don't actually need to go gather anymore. After like Rageblade Kraken changes, like buffs rather, you can go Rageblade Kraken. It's fine. It actually performs like very well. People for the fruits for that, I see people like going like ramping rage. I see like a little bit of hyperactive, but usually with hyperactive they don't go Gensu. It's like hyperactive like with like 1 or 2 Krakens with like full damage. But like ramping rage Kraken Gensu, I see that a lot. Like Sky Piercer, they don't have shreds, stuff like that. But like I think the Kraken Gensu stuff has kind of come back on Jinx.
So it's fair
And
to
like,
say that the Kraken buff is a pretty big deal for
yeah,
some of the
Kraken
comps.
buff is huge. All all the comps at the top of A tier you see that they have the upranked is
Yeah,
mostly
it's
because
all
of the
the
Kraken
Kraken
buff.
builds like Zaya,
Yeah,
Ash,
so
Jinx.
the best possible thing you want to see is when you load up into a TFT game is you get a bow drop, because it means like, oh, if you natural bunch of Zayas, you can play Zaya. If uh like you have a good crystal spot, you can play 7/5 crystal Ash. If you're like too contested on Ash, you can like pivot out into Jinx. Like you just put yourself in like an option, like you put yourself in a spot where there's just so many options. It's just kind of crazy. I'm like valuing like a lot of like the Pandoras and like component buffet a lot higher. I think bow is like kind of at a premium this meta just because
Yeah,
it lets you
yeah.
play so wide.
Also,
But yeah,
how
Jinx,
hard it is to get one off carousel too. Like you're just never gonna get one.
yeah, like Jinx is good. I think it caps lower than a lot of the other stuff, and you need to be playing it usually from ahead. You need to hit your units. Don't really want to be contested, but it has a valid place in the meta for sure.
Okay. And the other one I noticed that we promoted here was Smolder as well.
I don't know, like,
Specifically the heavyweight version of Smolder. I thought that was pretty surprising.
I mean, this is just like a slightly worse version of the mouse board. But if you just have Smolders and Darius, it's like it's pretty good. But like we have this ranked at A tier and the other one ranked at S for a reason. So
Yeah. So alternative. I guess the situation here would be if you just find a bunch of monster trainers / get a bunch of swords. Is that how it is?
yeah, it's just like a unit like
Okay.
item thingy.
Alternative. Do you think it's fair to characterization to say that these kinds of heavyweight boards are more skewed towards like being able to get Darius? People say that it's like, oh yeah, it's like Malzahar heavyweights, but it's actually a little bit more about Darius. Like people sometimes
Yeah,
don't even have that many items on Malzahar.
I think Darius is the primary unit in the comp. Um, Reason being is this rocket grab fruit is so fucking broken on this unit on a heavyweight, and Darius with his damage, like what you do is you legit just go full damage Darius, and then every single time he procs rocket grab, you get a 20% base, you get a 20% shield that's off the HP. Like every it's actually so broken how much shielding you get from this. And you also get like a little bit of CC and like displacement, which is nice, and he has like no downtime. But like if you play a fight with rocket grab, every single fight Darius has like 8-9k shield, which is just disgusting, and it gives time for the Mouse and the Smolder to ramp up and like kill the backline. So you just want to go like as much damage on Darius as you can as possible. Uh, like you usually end up with like a Hodge or like a BT or something just for like early game, but like I think you might want to go like last time like Titans or like DB like Trubis, like if you're somehow there. But like I mean like there's a little bit of healing is probably fine. But
Yeah,
he gets
yeah.
most of the same from Rocket Grab, and you just whittle down the backline with your dual carry.
Yeah, I played a game of this today, and I put Titans on Darius, and I said, you know what? I'll probably move off of this later because I want more damage. And then I played Rocket Grab, and I'm like, you know what? Actually, I might just stay here. It ended up being really, really good. Also, there's a really interesting dynamic with Rocket Grab in particular, which is what happens if there's a Katarina player in the lobby. And because of that, people tend to position differently because they try to avoid Cat like within they try to do like a anti Sejuani. We call it the anti Sejuani positioning, where they leave like gaps in the front line to try to isolate the tank, so that way Cat gets pulled inwards. But by doing so, sometimes it actually allows Darius to do some really disgusting things with Rocket Grab, where I've had him like Rocket Grab after this dot, like because the front line's a little bit displaced, immediately grabs the corner unit and then just like dunks it. So there's some really crazy interactions with Rocket Grab that if you haven't tried yet, can actually just be game winning on the spot because you just catch people who are trying to position for other people.
Yeah, I don't know. I just put him in the corner. I feel like it does fine. Ideally, you
So,
want to be on the same side because you can like kind of yoink their backline if their front line moves to the other side. But,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to do anything. You just play this.
yeah.
And then he just randomly grabs top corner unit sometimes because of the way people position weirdly from other stuff. Okay. Let's talk about some of other stuff. Maybe some of the greatest hits left remaining in the meta. So, is there any composition that you think also deserves a shout out here in the B or C tier? Because I think we're still kind of in the same thing, where it's like this category somewhere around the middle of the C tier. They're all kind of like the same ish.
We don't actually have it on the list, but I think we need to make like another Bastion or Volley variation where you play the specific board is level 9, 4 Edgelord, 6 Bastion. You play 6 Bastions and then you play Yasuo, Samira, Volley, or like you can play Yone over Yasuo or Samira as well. That board can also fit in level 8 with either +1 Bastion or +1 Edgelord. Usually +1 Bastion because +1 Archer is kind of dog shit. But like that's a variation that's pretty popular. It means you can like play around Bastions like with like full AD, and you kind of just like like snowball and like kill people that way. I would say that's like probably in like high B, low A tier range. But I see it fairly often.
Huh? I thought we actually did have that. I remember I guess I didn't save it.
Oh,
But I didn't...
I'm sure there was a 6 Bastion volley board here
Yeah,
sometime, but
we
it's
did. It was
probably
called Tanky Bear or whatever like that. You would put the Bastion Volley. It's like,
yeah.
but it's a different variation of that.
I'm sure we have it hidden on the site somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that board's fine. I also think Janna is like really good, but the problem is these crystal players make it like really hard to hit. Like on 4-1 there's like 9 gone and then you're just dead. Like you can't play if there's a crew player, like period, because the crew player will hold excess, and then like all the crystal players will hold like a couple copies, so it's just unplayable like if there's a crew player. But even without a crew, you have to like be kind of you kind of have to get lucky or like be a lot ahead on copies or just like not many crystal players. But I think this board's like actually like pretty well suited into the meta. Like Ashe is pretty vulnerable to getting like Hassan or getting like Jarvan plus Kabuko plus like Janad. The cap's like, decent. I don't know. I've had good results when I can actually hit, but that's the problem.
Yeah, hitting's the hard part, but I got rolled by this really hard as well today. I'm like, oh, still looks pretty good. So yeah. I agree. I feel like I mean, still, one thing we didn't really add is that the importance of being able to play around like itemized rise in the late game, having your duo carry there, because you just have a lot of damage through a second rise too, which is I think something that people aren't used to if you're not playing too much rise these days. But remember, a while back they actually buffed rise, so he's actually still pretty good.
Specifically, they buffed like not the mentor version though, right?
No, didn't they just give him like a base damage increase?
Okay, maybe. I thought they like buffed like the non.
They did both, I think, but
okay.
It was like both mentor and base, I believe. But now I'm starting to question myself, maybe because now when you ask that, I'm like, well, now I'm worried I have that wrong. But I think that was either way, that wasn't 15.7, that was 15.6.
Yeah, but like the rest of the cups here are like fine, maybe, and you can like play them and do well if you have like very good spots. But you're probably not going to be very like if you consistently play them, you're not going to get good results, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of people who try Gangplank reroll, and it's not very good unless you can super high roll like the very specific things of like a artifact or radiant. I see people try Galen Jace. People are like, I'll only play it if I get Silvermere Dawn and I have like a lot of econ. I can try to go for that. Like that's how situational it gets. But
I think this comp is so bad. I have no idea why people play it. Like for a while, I have no idea why people have played this for a while. But like,
I think
it's been like you see it like here and there, but like I feel like even if you hit it so bad.
I feel like it's because people feel like it hurts really hard when you're on the receiving end of it. Like I know a lot of people like I remember I was watching a streamer lose to it, and they're like, oh my god, when they like Caitlyn Jace is not even good, but when they get it, it just feels so strong. And they lost, and that streamer went 7th, and they left the game. I went and checked the lobby afterwards. That Caitlyn Jace play went 6th. But they remember losing to it because it looks so good, and because they went 7th, they didn't even see the result of it. And I feel like, and that stuck with me because I feel like when people lose to it, they're like, "Oh my god, this comp hits so hard." But then the reality is, a comp isn't actually that good when you play it. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it's like all about cheese, and if you don't execute the backline snipe once, you just fall over.
Yeah. So. If they position anything front line and like Caitlyn just shoots into a dead, like if it shoots into Cassante twice, you're like, oh my god, it doesn't do anything. So yeah.
And then you have like no like late fight, like when everything else is ramped up, you just have no way to win.
Yeah, you can't beat Fast 9.
You're just so slow.
Mm-hmm. So good luck getting past 6 Bastion Fast 9 with that board. All right, that does it for our meta section. Let's go ahead and head over to Factor Fraud. All right, Factor Fraud, we're going to throw out a statement about the meta. In this case, we're going to throw out statements about Set 15. There was a Dev Learnings article that was posted by Riot talking about the learnings from Set 15. And I feel like, Dishsoap and I usually talk about like what is good in the meta and how to play it, but we can take a step back and even talk about maybe just how Riot viewed the direction of the set and different things about it. So just wanted to toss out some statements and just see where we are at with it. So the very first one, Factor Fraud, let's start off positive here. Statement number one, the roles revamped was a successful rework to the unit class system. This is the change to the mana where tanks get mana, but fighters do not, but they got different things. At one point, they got Omnivamp. Now they get attack speed. And then they changed the way backliners gain mana as well with marksmen and specialists. So I kind of want to say, now that we've had a full set to play with it, so Factor Fraud, the roles revamp has been successful for TFT.
We're starting on positive?
Yeah, starting on the positive note.
Okay.
So that, because then we can go in on
the thing is, long term, this is probably true. But like this set, combined with like the power-ups, like specifically for melees, like they just like ignored all of this. Like Akali, Viego, like GP all like did disgusting things because of the role revamp that wouldn't have happened normally. It like made all the itemization weird. They like nerfed Ginsu just cause like it was too good on melees, but then like they like nerfed all the melees and then like Ginsu was dead for 3 patches. They had to like nerf Akali like 3 times because like the role it was just going like infinite because they just made her so low mana. I still think units like Neferi are so obnoxious in like the early game and like they're so overtuned in the early game because like it's balanced around the fact that late game you do nothing because you just don't get any mana. I think they like I still don't think they have solutions to like Titans and like BT. I think those items are just like really, really out of place in like after the role revamp, unless like it's like a hero augment and you just have like so much healing that or like so much healing and HP you can justify it. Because the thing is, like in the past, like Titans and BT were actually justifiable because like it enabled you to cast because he just keeps you alive. But like now that doesn't happen, so you just have these weird ass items. Like for instance, like Volley like has never wanted to build BT ever. Like your 4-cost melee just never wants to build BT because of our roles revamp. Like I don't know. Like same with Akali.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I was going through stats today with Brostev's here to do some commentary regionals for me this weekend, and we actually both saw that BT was pretty decent on Volibear, but that's we couldn't tell if that was real. We're like, what?
You can never like actually like on a unit. Okay, like me going into this will be too long, but I know for a fact BT is not a good volley item.
Okay. I'm not here to debate you. I thought that was interesting.
There's a variety of reasons why it would be like better in the stats than it actually is.
Okay,
but it's probably not the time.
Okay, sounds good. Maybe in our final episode of the set.
But yeah, I think Roles Revamps was not very successful for melee.
Okay.
I also, this is like kind of nitpicky. It's probably like most people don't think this, but like watching the fights, it just looked weird. Like after like 5 years of like expecting to get mana like after a hit, in the end fight, if your unit has like 60% mana, like what would usually happen is they would like hit you a couple times and then like your backliner would like actually win the clutch. But now there's no clutching because your unit just dies because you can't cast. Like unless you were like already casting. But I mean, yeah.
I think we'll get used to that. But I do know what you're talking about. The whiplash of like expectations of how the fight would play out have been subverted a lot this set. But I think that I definitely agree on the points you're talking about. From that perspective, I think the role revamp missed. I think what's interesting is more like they said like, oh, the mana regen as a stat was good, and I feel like I kind of get that. Where they're coming from, which is like mana regen feels intuitive to them versus like the random mana that you can get, especially with tiers, by just putting tier items. And then they're talking about also like the understanding of it, right? I think they said specifically that they wanted the roles, because I remember as I was reading this, I said, oh, you know what? I kind of feel like this was I actually used the word invisible and hidden change. And they said that was a good thing because they wanted it to be invisible and intuitive. And they felt like that roles revamp was actually something that their platinum plus players were pretty aware of. I thought this was funny because I was like, oh man, they just flamed their gold players and below. But they apparently they feel like it was a success because the players understood it and they got a lot of their accomplishments from it. But yeah, sure. I guess it is what it is on this overall.
But the thing is, there's a lot of problems they haven't fixed with this. So like I feel like it's a little off-putting to like just say it's a success and not mention any of the problems that they still haven't fixed. So
yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. By the way, is this even true? The tank aggro? They said that like tank wins 50-50 choosing the target. And I still feel like every now and then I kind of wonder like how did that target even work out? Because they still
sometimes it's just bugged. It's just bugged.
Okay, so I'm not going crazy, right? I feel like I'm like I don't want to be conspiracy theorist because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there, but sometimes it still like doesn't work, right?
Yeah, there's one like very notable trigger that I know of. If you have Neferi with Pack Tactics, it ignores the tank targeting and it can target Neferi. I've also had Darius like with Rocket Grab get targeted, but only on the left side and only like 50% of the left side. I was actually like testing this a lot. Like half the
Okay.
time, Rocket Grab Darius is top left, it'll get hit by bottom left. But it doesn't happen on the right side.
Okay.
Even if you have a tank next to it, so it's just bugged. Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't cover every
I
instances, but
Yeah, I fully expect this bug, like bugs like that, to not be fixed for multiple sets, but hopefully they do.
hopefully they do. And hopefully it's on their radar because I did hear about the Fury thing. I was not aware about the Darius thing, and I'm pretty sure that
Oh,
is
there's
going to
like
be
more
true.
I
Though.
don't even
Yeah,
know
there's
about.
probably
Probably.
more. I wonder how much of it is also the fruit power ups dynamic, which actually goes into our next factor fraud. Actually, that's our third one, but we'll go into our next one. Factor fraud number 2: power fruits should never return to TFT again. Riot was talking about how power fruits has been received, and I think the TLDR they said was on release, the set mechanic was praised for its dynamic and fun nature, making a champion feel like an anime protagonist. But as a set of all the system's complexity and high knowledge burden and inconsistent options, reveal the need for clear tuning, more emphasis on agent flexibility. And they said that fruits won't be returning. So what do you think, Dishsoap? Is that an agree or disagree from you?
I mean, I don't think the way they introduced fruits to set was good. Like, obviously, there's a ton of problems. I don't think it's like a hopeless mechanic, like giving your unit like a like it's literally anomaly. Like, and I personally think anomaly was fine. I know some people don't think that, but I think anomaly was fine. Um, but anomaly was a lot better than this for a variety of reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I disagree with it. It like could never come back, but I don't think it's good. Like the way they did it.
I generally feel like the second time Riot revisits a mechanic, they tend to improve it significantly. The exception is, I think, Chosen and Headliners, but I think when they have like tried to do other forms of different things, like galaxies and portals, I think they did that a lot better the second time around. I think when they try to do better iterations of hero augments, I think hero augments have been far improved. And obviously, we've had patches where hero augments are too good, but like for the most part, they actually do a lot of what they accomplished. And my general take was like this set ended up becoming a hero augment set because power proofs were for specific champions with specific interactions that were like abusable, and if they just didn't work, you lost the game. And if you missed it, you also lost the game. So I think that there's definitely a version of fruits that could exist. I also partially think that Riot a little bit overcooked because of the nature of like how they tried to market this with 2x KO. You know, I had this like epiphany that was like, oh, they give you 2 fruits instead of 1 because it was supposed to be like this whole 2x KO fighting game like marketing thing. Like that's probably why they gave you 2 fruits instead of 1. Because someone said like, how come they just give you 1 fruit instead of 2? And I'm like, oh, you know, like we made this all the
I feel
connection.
like they would have to like. I've never actually seen that marketing. Like I know there's like 2XKO based fruits they added a while ago, but
No, but but if you think about it logically, right?
no,
Which is
I understand the logic. It's just like I've never seen like any like Riot mention of that, so it feels like I mean I don't know.
well, I
Maybe.
know for a fact that 2SKO was delayed in the dev process.
Oh,
They were
okay.
supposed to release a lot earlier, and I'm
I can see that.
pretty sure the timeline was supposed to sync up. If you just think about the fighting game theme of
Sure.
it, but that's just a theory. I have no confirmation. I didn't talk to Riot about it. So
No, that makes
my
sense.
point that I'm trying to get at is this. Like I said, there's probably I agree with you. I think there's something there for power up fruits. I just don't think. I think this was a pretty big miss from the player experience at a competitive level because that's what we're focused on. There's
Mhm.
actually a lot of people out there that were writing reviews on set 15 that felt like overall it was a really fun mechanic to explore and everything like that. But for people that want to feel like, because what we care about for the podcast and competitive players is agency amidst the chaos, right? We know TFT is a chaotic, high variance game, but we want to try to have as many things under control and subdue it. But it just felt completely unwieldy this set for a lot of players. But if you're a player that just like embraces the chaos, you probably had so much fun this set and didn't really care about it. So I've seen a lot of feedback like that.
Yeah, I think like the set would have been better if they just had like a golden fruit remover and they were like forced to address the broken things instead of like just waiting until like people found it.
Yeah.
because like the limited fruit removers kind of like was a balancing lever for like broken interactions, but the downside of that is that like if you just don't like you just like stuff is balanced throughout the broken interactions, you just don't hit it. It's just like
Yeah.
so sad.
Yeah.
Like even today, even after like all the odds increase, like I missed Janna, like veteran and Janna 4 times. Like okay, I guess that was my
Wait, you
game.
missed veteran on Janet today? That's
Yeah, like
crazy.
I had to like remake it.
Oh my god. Wait, actually, I had an experience like that because I was in the 1 in 50 games Dishsoap to play fan service for con. I'm telling you, the stars aligned and it was perfect, absolutely perfect. And I refruited and then I just missed fan service. And then I had to do, yeah, I had to also like remake for con.
But yeah.
And then yeah, it was very very sad.
So yeah, I mean my take is that they should just have a golden fruit remover. I don't really think like I don't know like maybe if they like balance the fruits to be at a point where like you could actually just take generic, which I think like anomalies kind of did. I feel like they kind of got to the point where anomaly like you felt like okay taking a lot of stuff, but like with fruit, if you don't have the best option, it just feels shit. So like why not just like make us have the best option every time? This is my
Yeah.
take.
You know what my take is? I actually, this is another side topic, and we're basically sidebarring a bunch of times since we're talking about it. My take is that this set, if TFT devs were to say there's only one set that we play for a really long time, I actually do think that if this set got to a good version of it, because the set has so many comps, right? This is the most comps ever in a set, just largely because of the way fruits exist. There's so many like random niche things. If TFT actually had time to develop beyond just like a 3-4 month thing, and then they shuffle it away, they could eventually get fruits to a spot where like there's more than one option, right? And I
Yeah,
think that's
I
where the
think
big
the current
limitation is.
I think the current state of the set is like what it should be after like a month, and it's like
Yeah,
the end of the
yeah.
set. So
Yeah, I was saying that. I was like, you know, if we started here, like, I feel like the set would be received way better, like where we are in this patch, because we can actually
yeah,
fine
but
tune it. We're actually pretty close now.
there's I don't know if there's close. I feel like there's still a ton of work to do, but yeah,
Well, I mean,
it's
like
like
close. I mean, so we're at the end, so like, I don't
yeah,
know where
yeah.
else we can really go from here. Like, what do you even want for the world's patch if you were to like suggest some things?
Uh, I don't know. Like for sure they need to like actually like buff up mech again, like to like no, because the thing is the comp is legit unplayable.
Yeah,
Like
no, you're right.
they
It's
balance it
just
around two
terrible.
mech pilot, and now like that's not good.
Yeah,
So like yeah.
is that it though?
But I don't know, like probably nerf the 5 crystal econ more, probably nerf rocket grab. Um, I don't know, maybe like nerf like Seraphine somehow, like with like, with like the Bastion scaling, it gets a little bit too much off of armor and more, kind of leads to stupid fights. Maybe Lee Juggernaut nerf something like that.
Okay,
Like I
okay.
don't know. I feel like the unit balance is like usually like
Flatten the
I feel like
top.
it's legit impossible for the unit balance to be that bad at this point into the set. Like the unit balance is like pretty good right now. It's just
It's not
like
the powerful interactions of like specific things, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Reduce the sharpness of the best things. Okay. We got off track. Let's do the final factor fraud. And this one is a pretty big one amongst some people who really care about it, which is prismatic traits. Prismatic traits were overall too difficult and rare, and thus not that successful. How do you feel about prismatic trait reflections, factor fraud?
I'm gonna be honest. This is like an area of the game I do not care about in the slightest. So, like to me, this is a positive because I'm seeing less. I hate prismatic traits. Like I think it's just like a like to me, it feels like I'm getting cheated out of a win if I lose to it. Like that's just how I take it. You might think like I think like overall it's probably unpopular because like yeah, but I do not like prismatic traits in the game. So I like this trait. I know they're going to exist, and they'll probably like make them more common next set. But I don't know. That was one aspect of it that I actually liked.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the good old days in Set 15 where you had to work for your prismatic as opposed to
Yeah,
given for free on your encounter.
I don't know. Like before they introduce this solution, my suggestion for prismatic traits for a while that I've given is always like make it require level 10. Like make it the 10 trait require however many like emblems you need or whatever, but just make it so you have to go level 10, so you don't just like scam people on like with like fawn or
yeah,
like trainer dummy.
Yeah, kind of like what they did with the mech, right? You have to be level 10 and then activate all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I think the problems just go away for level 10. I like the thing is like it makes it harder to hit, but like I don't know. I feel like it's just such a scam. Like how 90% of the prismatic traits were hit in the past. You just like have +2 with fodder, +2 with the dummy, and it's like yay.
All right, bonus factor fraud. Here's a one that just came off the top of my head. What do you think about the take that people say that this set trainer golems is not even that bad because prismatic traits are so hard to hit? Factor fraud on that one.
It's fraud mostly because 5 crystal is really stupid in the mid game. If you get a crystal,
Okay,
like
fair. Crystal Gambit. How about if no one gets something like Crystal Gambit? I guess.
if no one rolls crystal gambit on any of their dummies, it's a fine portal. It's not a
there you
good
go.
portal. It's like probably like slightly below average, but it's like I probably wouldn't hate myself that much. But the thing is like the thing is like it's actually so easy to make a good 5 crystal board in the mid game, like with your other 2 traits, and then you can just snowball so hard if you get the spot for it. Like yeah.
Yeah, so definitely Crystal Gambit too strong, but I find it hard to disagree with like the other cases. So definitely an interesting food for thought point for the set. All right, so we're going kind of long, so let's go ahead and just do the pop quiz here, and we'll let you go finish your prep for regionals. So this will be this one was helping me prepared by Brosif, so I hope you're ready for it. It'll be fun.
Oh shit. Prepared by Brosif.
Well, no. Like I prepped it, but he kind of looked over my shoulder for it.
I see.
All right. Okay. Question number 1. We'll start off pretty simple. Who is the best holder of Crown of Demacia? And this is just for reference because sample size we went platinum plus on this one.
Okay, the thing is, I think it's Mundo, but it might be Shed. Specifically your augment. I will guess Mundo because I'm pretty sure that's the best one.
Okay, so the answer is I thought it was Shen, which you could
Kennen.
accept as an answer, but apparently Kennen is even better.
Bro, like I feel like these guys might be putting it on frontline, man. Okay, maybe not. I don't know, man. I actually feel like it's so broken, but sure. I mean, yeah, I guess.
I mean, okay,
like
to be fair, it could be actually Mundo, but I'm just going off with the stats.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah,
I got it wrong.
All right. Well, either way, I guess if you're in the spot to try to put this on Kennen, and there's no way you can filter out like protagonist or anything like that, but hey, Crown Demacia on Kennen, the Kennen hero. By the way, just so that we're clear for everyone watching, is the Kennen hero augment? It's definitely not regular Kennen. Question number 2. What are 3 of Garrett Hero's best artifacts? And we'll take this. I wrote down the top 5. So just write 3 of his best 5 artifacts. I think people really know like 1 or 2 of them, but
like I actually don't think it's that broken, but like Locket's for sure on the list somewhere.
Locket's one of them. That's correct.
Is Manazin good? Maybe. We'll put that in the for Mittens is for sure good. Mittens is definitely one of them. I think Donkor is actually pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna guess Locket, Mittens, Donk. How many do I need?
I mean, you only need 5, but you know what? I'll give you bonus extra credit if you can. I'll give you twice as many points if you can get all 5.
Okay, I have Mittens, Locket, Donkor. Yeah. I'll put Manazin 4 and then Flicker 5, maybe.
All right. The answer is you got 3 correct. Mittens, Intervening Dawncore, and then 2 other ones are Rapid Fire Cannon, specifically with Shojin. This delta is actually, this is the average. You put Shojin, it goes up a lot more because people actually figure out. And Titanic Hydra, that one kind of came out of nowhere for me. I was surprised by that one. So, but I mean, you pretty much got full credit of it. I think Flicker Blade is good though, right? If you go Flicker Blade on him, so.
I mean, you don't actually want to go against it normally, so I could see it not being Flicker. But I mean, Flicker, in my head sounds a little bit better than Rapid, but I guess Rapid's kind of like Stretchy Arms. I could see it being good actually.
Okay. All right. Number 3. Even despite its nerf, Sniper's Focus is not the worst artifact in the game, AVP wise.
Sorry, I will just be looking at.
You look at the list of artifacts.
Yeah. I have to go in TFTAcademy because the other one has AVP. I mean, I don't think is Trenchcoat even in the game?
No, they removed that from the
Okay.
game.
We still have them in the database, but yeah, I have not seen that ever.
I mean,
Frodan's also not in the
it's in the
game.
builder, but I mean, I guess.
I'm. I mean, it's usually one of the gold. No, it's usually not one of the gold gens. Wait, what is it? The thing is, like Talisman is actually like not even that bad anymore. Hydra has like is not good, but it has like niche spots and like it's like no one's actually taking it, so the stats are not bad. Wait, what is it? Like I guess it's Silvermare, but like I don't even think Silvermare is that bad. Like there's some holders. Like I guess it is Silvermare though. I'm looking at these. Like I think there's options worse, but I mean I also know Horizon doesn't have good AVP, but I don't know if it's bottom. But the thing is, I don't even. I think there's like at least with some fruits, there's some like okay interactions. I guess Lichbane's not good. Like if the Kog'Maw AVP is bad, maybe Lichbane is legit ass. I'm between like Lichbane. You ever think it might be like like Fishbones because people are like playing it at Kaisa shit. Wait, like I feel like there's like no clear like actually bad one. You just have to use like mental
artifacts in the game.
yeah, you have to use mental gymnastics. I'm going to guess it is. I will get Silvermare, but I think it might be Lichbane.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. We're locking in Silvermare.
wait.
Okay.
Seekers. But I actually don't think it's that bad in cat. But I will guess Seekers.
I like that you keep saying it could be this, but it's not bad on this unit, and you just basically repeated that across every artifact. Okay, we're locking in.
Seekers onward.
Okay, the answer is the answer is Hull Crusher. I would have accepted a variation of no Crystal Gambit though, because the thing is, artifact is influenced by no.
Oh yeah, I think the Nindig is the worst one, like by far. Like it's actually the worst one.
The,
but, like,
the worst one, if you filter out Crystal Gambit, is Fishbones. You were kind of the right idea. Fishbones is also really bad. But to be fair, in your defense, if you filter it, a lot of them are kind of close, right? But it does look like Hull Crusher just like a little bit worse than everything else. But I mean, no,
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of forgot Hull Crusher is like bad after the mech change because this is like the best mech artifact.
Yeah, and then it's like a Call to Chaos roll, so. Maybe people are not happy with that.
I don't even think that one's that bad though.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I don't think it's that bad, but I feel like you have to remember the type of player that clicks that.
When I click that.
No, I mean like the
sure. I know what you mean.
Yes,
sure.
yes. It gets dragged down because people just love clicking Call to Chaos, even if they're not in the spot to click it. Because you click it if it makes sense for your comp, and then there's people who click it when it's on their screen.
I guess
there's two types of players. All right, question number 4. According to TFT, there are 5 hexes where Rakan excels most when positioned.
I'll just rip it. Watch this. D3, D5, C1, C. There's 7 hexes, right? Like in a row. There's 7, right?
Yeah, there's 7 columns and there's 4 rows.
Oh yeah,
so we go
yeah,
A for the top row, D for the bottom row.
C1, C7, D3, D5, A2.
A2. Interesting. And this is basically where you where your belief is. So the worst one by far was D1. D1 is D1.
I meant to say A2, but I said D2. It doesn't matter. It's not one of the answers.
Yeah. So you got the D5, this one correct. But the B7 is like really, really high. And the C7. You said C7, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So those are the hexes that are really, really high. I think you got 3 instead of 4. You know what? I'll give you good enough credit because I didn't actually think about B1. And that's technically a winning hex as well. So it looks like it's A7, B7, C7, and then kind of like the middle of the D rows.
I feel like this is like I don't know. I don't think you put that much stock into this.
No, you don't. But it's just one of those interesting ones. Actually, I don't think I wrote. I don't think I wrote C7. So whoops. I think I meant to write C7 here as well. Whatever. Okay. Nicely done, Dishsoap. We'll just give you credit for that one. Okay, last question. Pretty much every 3-star 4 cost has incredible stats. Except for this one. What is the weakest 3-star 4 cost, Dishsoap?
I will not know this answer, by the way. I think I remember in the past, like Poppy was down there, but I don't know. Poppy 3 sounds like not that bad. Okay, the thing is, I've lost with Poppy 3. I'll guess Poppy. Sure.
All right. The answer is the worst 3-star forecast in the game is Poppy.
Oh shit.
You are correct. And look at that. A 58% win rate compared to the 70 plus for everything else. 1.7 AVP. It is a lot worse. It's kind of very surprising.
With it.
I think it just when I was asking Bros about it, he just says it doesn't deal enough damage. Just doesn't. It just because you have a 3-star Poppy doesn't mean that you can actually win fights a lot. So, I mean, obviously you will win because it's a 3-star 4 cost, but there's a pretty good chance you lose. Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up with our question of the day. And I got a question from Douglas Meta that said, whether or not we should be intentionally playing for a lower Crystal Gambit cash out. I think I'll show you the image here. The image I have here is the Crystal Gambit cash out of 250 versus 300. Is it better? The question is it better to go for a 250 cash out on average for Fast 9 than 300?
Like kind of, but not really. Like there's some that are like specifically the gold and the Nico, like the one that doesn't get the like item chest is like better than the one that gives you 3 anvils. But it's like not better than the other two. So I mean, I don't know. Like the thing is, like the problem is you just roll the items on the 300 one, you just feel really really bad. But I don't know. Like there's not really a good way to like decrease your cash out is the thing. Besides like just killing less units, which is just bad. So
right. So it's not something you can like intentionally manipulate too much, but it is better. it is actually a little bit better because sometimes you can get pretty griefed on some of this stuff. I find that like if you get Tactics Crown 15 gold, you sometimes just can't actually hit your board. So
yeah, I guess that's true as well.
Yeah. So that was our question today, and that will probably do it because I think we're at time. We're at an hour long. We gotta let Dishsoap go through and get to regionals. So, man, it'll be another regional finals for you, man. And we all wish you good luck. Make us all proud. And even if not, we know you'll be back because you made it back to tier 1 next set where you'll be fired up because set 16 is gonna be the best set ever, right?
Yeah, kind of L mindset, but like Loki, I already kind of reached my goal this set, kind of. Like
you reached your baseline goal, which is to get back to
yeah. Baseline goal is to not get embarrassed and get regulated, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's just kind of hard to get motivated when the set is fucking trash. I've been grinding like since like the past 2 weeks though, so hopefully they do well.
He'll get back into form, don't you worry. So,
I mean, I think I'm in form. It's just like I mean, obviously wasn't in form like for most of the set.
Fair enough. Well, you actually still were pretty reasonably competitive, almost making final lobby if you weren't even in form. So if you are in form, I think the field will be shaken in their boots.
Hope so.
So that'll be it. And I think, I mean, regardless of what happens, let's try to see if we can aim for one more episode to do the final one for the set because it'll be the World's patch. And that'll be it. We'll do set 15 in the books. So with that being said, thanks everyone who's tuned in and checked out and stuck with TFT as well. I mean, we're talking about things from the competitive perspective, but hopefully you guys gain some insights and also continue to develop your love for the game as well. So with that, from Frodan and Dishsoap, thanks for checking out TFT Study Hall. We'll see you guys next time for more TFT action. Have a good night.